So question number 6 comes from Rebecca. Hi Sebastian, I have just noticed a brand new collection by Zara with Alberto Morillas, but cannot find a single review online, and I think this is because it is so new. Are you able to review these for your viewers? Unusually they are all EDP concentration, so I do have high hopes for some affordable scents for my son's birthday. Many thanks, Rebecca. So Rebecca had sent that email I think a good month ago, and when I finally saw them on Zara's website, they didn't make it to the store. I ordered them and went and picked up at the Zara boutique, and I've been testing them out, and I've got them here. One of them is called Morning Sunray in Sevilla. Another one is called Bohemian Sunset in Barcelona. And lastly, the last one is called Nightfall in Madrid. So first off, I do want to mention I cannot stand Nightfall in Madrid. It's the worst out of the 3 and I hate it. These are all created by Alberto Morillas, and I like him as a perfumer, but he has created several fragrances for different brands that I just cannot stand, and I think it's the note he used. I either don't like it, or I've smelled it over and over, and it's not only used by him, it's used by other perfumers, and it's this very kind of an amber Tonka fusion base note that appears in a lot of men's fragrances that kind of also goes aquatic that I cannot stand, absolutely cannot stand. So with the Nightfall in Madrid, that's kind of what I get with it, although it's a little more spicy, but for me it has a very, very cheap association with it. Like, I don't like this note. It appears too much. I've smelled it too much, not only in one brand or 2 brands. Actually, there were 2 fragrances that Alberto Morillas created, one for Robert Graham, Courage, and one of the flankers for Armani, Acqua di Gio, in the brown juice. Forgot the name of that one. They smelled alike to me, and those 2 fragrances kind of remind me of this one. But you might like it. You could check it out, see what they are all about. These are $29.90, so they are a little pricier than other Zara fragrances. They're still very inexpensive for 100 ml juice. But Nightfall in Madrid has nutmeg, cardamom, tonka beans, sandalwood. So sadly, because I don't like the smell of it, I didn't test this one too much, so I don't know much about it. But as soon as I sprayed it for the first time, I was like, I don't like the smell. I got to get rid of it off of me. So I had to wash it off. I just don't like it. Right. So I'm telling you this now. And so you know which one you might like or not like. But for me, a Nightfall in Madrid was a no-no. But that's not to say the other 2 are not great as well. The other 2 are really great for me. So Morning Sunray in Sevilla and Bohemian Sunset in Barcelona. And I really love to travel to Spain, by the way. It's one of my favorite Mediterranean countries. I've been many, many times, and I can't wait to go back to Spain for more traveling very soon. But let's start with Morning Sunray in Sevilla. This is one of the cities I've not been to in Spain. I have been to Barcelona and Madrid. So the bottles do come like this. Like that. The bad thing about these fragrances also is they don't spray very well. It's a bad sprayer. And one thing I should also show you, they have notes listed here, if that'll focus or not. But Morning Sunray in Sevilla is lemon, rosemary, frankincense, jasmine, and tarragon. So Morning Sunray, so morning is associated with dewiness, like dewy, watery kind of plants collecting, this water in the mornings. And this one actually experiences that way, but it is very lemony, very, very herbal, aromatic, rosemary. Frankincense does come in, but not a lot. And it does have this kind of slight licoricey aromatic touch from the tarragon with a little floral angle of the jasmine in here. For me, it's mostly about the lemon with rosemary. The other notes that I mentioned kind of like are enhancing this experience. And there is that watery touch under there, like a dewy touch under there for me, and it works great. So I think it's a great, inspiration. It's a great inspiration for this fragrance, and it does work for me, but it's a freshie. It's an overdose of freshness. It's not anything long lasting, so the fragrance disappears quite fast off of me, but they're so cheap that you can continuously spray them and it won't break your bank, kind of a thing, And I like the bottles a lot. They've done a good job. I haven't read this. I like the packaging and everything, even though it's It's packaging that's a little on the cheap side, but I think they've done a good job. They've done what they can for the amount they're charging for this fragrance. It's $29.90, which is awesome. And they are eau de parfums, but still they don't act like eau de parfums, because the two that I like out of the collection are the two freshies. And for me, I'm getting about 3.5 to 4.5 hours approximately, not a lot more. But you know, if you're not getting the performance out of your fragrances, the fresh fragrances, you can always use enhancers like Molecule 1 to layer down and then spray some of this on it. I know it's going to enhance the smell a little bit, but it's also going to make it last a little longer. Either way, I really like the Morning Sunray in Sevilla, and I think I'll put it to use. I think it's going to be a great freshie, but I would save it for some really, really warm days. I think warm days are going to be perfect for it, or if you need a pick-me-up when it's, you know, cool outside and you want that kind of like fresh, citrusy wake-up thing, kind of a thing in the mornings. So the other one that I really like is also Bohemian Sunset in Barcelona. I really, really like this one, even though it's got the sea breeze note in there. And the juice of this one is a little darker. It's a little greener as well, as you can see right there. And I do like these bottles. And one more thing I forgot to say, these sprayers are the worst. They do not spray well. So if you bought one to, you know, to decant for somebody, to give it to them, because the several times I was spraying them to wear these fragrances, they're like choking kind of a thing. So they're not the best sprayers, but I think they're not going to give us the best sprays because they're only charging us 30 bucks for 100 ml, you know? So Bohemian Sunset in Barcelona, once again, is $29.90. And it is eau de parfum, and all three, as I said, is created by Alberto Morillas. This one's bergamot, sea breeze, mineral notes, and cedarwood, and I think it's exactly that. It has a very afternoon kind of a glow kind of experience with this one. I think the mineral notes does that. The sea breeze kind of adds this sea freshness. It doesn't get overly aquatic, thankfully, and I do like this one. As I said, I like it a lot. In fact, I like it equally with Morning Sunray in Sevilla. Cedarwood is the base note, so it dries to kind of a woody base, but this one, once again, it's all very citrusy, an overdose of freshness, and I think it makes sense to have the sea breeze because Barcelona is on the coast and things like that. So I really like this one a lot. I really like wearing it, and I think I give credit to Zara for, you know, doing these fragrances, even though a lot of them do seem like clones. And of course, I don't think this is a clone because it's done by Alberto Morillas, but of course, perfumers copy their own work for other brands. As I was talking about recently with Jacques Cavalier doing fragrances for Louis Vuitton and then making something very similar to Bulgari. So I'm sure he's probably done something like this, or maybe he's not, I don't know, but we're not breaking any new ground with these fragrances, what I'm saying, but in the end, they do smell very fresh and very pleasant, and I think they're worth the price that they're charging for these fragrances. Anyway, that's my second favorite. It's Bohemian Sunset in Barcelona. And sorry that I didn't care for Nightfall in Madrid, but I can't like everything. I just don't like that smell, and it reminds me too much of those kind of very, very popular men's designer fragrances. Even though it's a unisex offering, that one note, that like kind of aquatic amber Tonka combo that's really, really prominent in a lot of designer fragrances for men was very prominent in there, and it kind of turns me off. Anyway, I hope you liked my thoughts on these fragrances, and hopefully, Rebecca, you'll get one of these for your son if you haven't already. But let me know if you've sampled these fragrances, what your thoughts are. Do you like Nightfall in Madrid? Or do you hate it like me? Which one of these fragrances is your favorite if you've sampled them? Put a comment down so I can find out.